And I'm going to pass it on to Rosalind.
Thank you. I want to uplift and say thank you for our dynamic Congresswomen and the work that they do. First, let's pause. So my name is Rosalind M. Osborne. I am dedicated member to Sierra Club for the state chapter and also their political national team, and also the Detroit water team. As they asked me to present a story, for those that don't know me, I also have an intersectionality with housing impact and stabilizing our communities also, and been an organizer for over 20 years. But yesterday occurred, August 11th. I had the opportunity to be a representative and also a chaperone at a youth tour for Summer Freedom Youth Tour 2021. And it was a team of 14 youth. And we did an environmental tour throughout the city, making multiple stops. Very informative, but it was focused on the red, black, green New Deal, right? Focusing on the policies we're talking about right now, but focusing specifically on black and brown communities and how we've been displaced towards funding and equity, right? So we started at the 8 Mile Walls, went to Gardens, and ended up at Kempton Park with our dynamic Congresswoman, talked to the youth. But guess what? We know there's clouds behind us, right? The young lady, she was like, Jordan, let's go. We see the clouds. We boarded the bus. As we got on the freeway, the rain came. The children had a beautiful day, right? 5 minutes in, they get quiet. They're like, are we about to be stranded on the freeway? Yeah, is the freeway about to flood? What are we gonna do if that occurs? We're like, calm down, it's okay. It's draining, we can still see the white lines.
I don't calm down.
But the reality is we went from a beautiful day to hitting the freeway and rain occurs and now fear is imminent, right? I think my beautiful sister Rocation said, now we got STD when the rain comes, right? TDS, thank you.
TDS, it's okay, I got you.
Wrong letters, thank you. Real comedy in there real quick, right? Oh, yeah. So we make it home safely. We do all the drop-offs, right? To find out that all our power is out. Wow. As of right now. And the numbers are increasing, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. Not increasing and restoring. Yes. Increasing on depleting power. Yes. So I don't want to replicate the conversation, or we know we need new infrastructure for streets, roads, bridges, and piping. But we also must focus on the green implementation and the transition, right? We need renewable implementations, right? Because if we had an opportunity to transition from the grid right now to do Pacific implementations towards renewables, solar, water. I think we were even just saying geothermal, but they're not allowing us as black and brown communities in Wayne County and Detroit to have accessibility to those resources. So this is why we need funding. This is why we must have the conversation and change the vernacular to not just infrastructure, but green infrastructure, natural aesthetics in our communities. So this is why this conversation and the funding is supported towards our congressional funding and making sure information and knowledge is presented. And I also want to uplift the economic capacity of this. If you bring the training to our communities, we can sustain ourselves. We can learn it, implement it, and sustain it. But what we demand is the funding and the infrastructure. So we ask you all to join us as an environmentalist, but I actually show up as a mother. If we don't have clean access to clean water and to bring down our carbon imprint in our communities, Congresswoman Dingle said, we must transition over to the carbon imprint for our vehicles by 2030 now. Like he said, all the environments, all week we've been buzzing. We went from 2050 to literally 2035. So like I told the children, that's 14 years from now.
Yes.
If we don't make a transition for clean energy, clean water, and make sure our access to clean air. So we must make the transition, we must have the funding, and we must jump on board. So I thank you all. My name is Rosalind M. Ogburn, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to talk about what I love and to protect my future. Bless you.